Here we are again. As you can see, it's growing upwards now quite nicely. It's all staying reasonably square, I think. And I'm just working on, this is the back of the building. What I've done in fact is cheated a bit, because when we have, hang on, got the wiring off. I've made a better light for it, because I think it was getting a bit dark before. So we've got wiring all over the place here. But with JigStones, usually we have, for each story, 3 main blocks deep, and then you get usually a lintel course which goes over the windows, obviously. That goes all the way round usually, but what I've done is I've changed it slightly, and I've put another main block there which should have been a lintel, but it doesn't really matter, because what I can do is, when I get round to the front, round to the back, because that's gone out of true, these are shorter windows, and that lintel block would normally be, as on the front, would be up there somewhere. So it's just slightly different. But what we can do is just to build up all the way round with these still. The door is going to be that high, which means that the lintel will then fit in between there. So once I've got those in place, the lintel would be in there, and then I'll pack in the rest of it with filler blocks. So that would sort that out. The thing about JigStones is that it's all modular, so you can change the idea you've got for whatever design you're trying to work to. As you go along, you just think, oh, that would look better with something else there, you know, maybe have that higher or lower. It doesn't really matter, because everything is geometrically in a sort of modular system, and it all fits together in the end, hopefully. So you can change your ideas as you go along, which is the only way I do it. Also, I'm going to have chimney stacks up the sides, up the 2 sides, but they're going to be in brick finish, and I've started casting brick blocks for that. The chimney stack would be on the outside. It would be like that, but it would have a brick finish, so it would go all the way up, and then there would be, if we can find one, the usual angled part which goes up to another about like that. This is up here somewhere, or will be. So it goes up to there. So you can imagine that all the way down brick, and then it carries on up to the chimneys. So that will be on each side, and all I have to do with that is just glue them onto the side of the building. And that's as far as we got so far. I'm just carrying on filling these in now. I'm not going to bore you with, you know, so you have to look at that being done. It'll just be done, and then I'll come back to you again later. Okay? Right, that's finished off the lower floor of the building. Door fits in nicely there. The windows will go in there, obviously. And the next thing now is to marry up the front with the sides and the back. So that's going to be a matter of using quite a few of these lintel blocks, which will be staggered. We always stagger across joins. Nothing looks worse than having one join going all the way up like that. It just doesn't look right. So what we have to do is stagger them around, fill in with the filler block there. That will be a lintel there. A couple of little blocks there and so on, and the same on this side. And then we'll have to build up further like that. We'll bring it up to roughly there. Once it's got the cement in between, it'll raise it up to level, and all the way along, and that will be the bottom story finish then, or the ground floor, whichever you like to call it. Then we work upwards from that with another 3 sections plus the windows, then another lintel, and then the roof. So that'll be for another day, I think. I think that's enough for one video. Cheers.